All right, hello everyone. Sorry I took a break there for a minute. Had to collect myself, had to deal with a few things, but I'm back, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have all of you here, anybody who's watching the video, and anyone who's returned or new here. Thank you for joining me. So today, I wanted to discuss the whole Jada Pikket thing. It's nothing big or serious. It involved me in no way, shape, or form, or am I even invested in these people. I mean, I was a fan of Will Smith's work when I was younger, and as time went on, he kind of fell off from me, and I was never a fan of Jada Pikket Smith. I didn't even know. I think she's a performer, right? Even if she isn't, I knew that they were married. That was about the depth of my knowledge of their relationship. And, that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you're invested in celebrity life, sometimes you're not. But with how things have been evolving, oh my God. If it hasn't just gotten a little, just really awkward for everyone involved. And I think 2022 really put it in everyone's faces where it's like, yeah, no, their marriage was struggling before, and it was a little like, what's going on there? But then he slapped Chris, and it was everything changed. Everything changed when Will Smith attacked. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today. If you like the subject matter, the sound of my voice, or my sense of humor, I don't know. Yeah, please like, subscribe, definitely leave a comment. It would certainly help. Because sometimes I run out of things to talk about. Sometimes I don't know what would keep y'all interested. So please let me know what you want me to talk about. We can discuss that further in the video comments there. And I mean, I'd just love to grow the community even further, especially with people that are happy to have a discussion. So let's just jump right into this one. Okay, so I'm going to be using an article from CNN Entertainment. I know, CNN, they're always going to be biased in one way or another, but this is a story about Will Smith and Jada Pikket. Everyone's gonna have an opinion here, but it's celebrity news. You can't really flub it up too much. So let's go. This article was written by Lisa Respers France. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Don't want to be mispronouncing someone's name. Believe me, I've been through that one plenty. So, hope I'm saying it right. Jada Pikket Smith reveals she and Will Smith have been separated since 2016. Here's a picture of the not so loving couple. I mean, probably loving, but very complicated couple. The article starts here from CNN. Jada Pikket Smith has revealed that she and her husband, Will Smith, have been living completely separate lives since 2016. In a clip from her forthcoming NBC News primetime special with Honda Kotb, Pikket Smith said the couple had not previously gone public with their separation because they were not ready yet. They were still trying to figure out between the two of us. Oh, that's a weird way to word a sentence. Apologies, let me restart that one. They were, quote unquote, still trying to figure out between the two of us how to be in partnership, end quote, she said. Next quote being, how do we present that to people? She told Kotb, we hadn't figured that out. Pikket Smith, 52, and Will Smith, 55, have been married since 1997. Pikket Smith said that they are not legally divorced. Their marriage has come under scrutiny during the period she says they've been apart. In July 2020, singer August Alsina revealed that he had been romantically involved with Pikket Smith, something she confirmed during an episode with her husband on Red Table Talk. I got into an entanglement with August, Pikket Smith said at the time, explaining that the superstar couple were going through a very difficult time when it had occurred. Then there was the Oscar slap. During the 2022 Academy Awards, Smith stormed the stage and slapped presenter Chris Rock after he made a joke about Pikket Smith being bald. She suffers from alopecia, which has caused her hair loss. Here's a picture of her. I would assume these are the effects of alopecia besides just shaving her head, but regardless, she still looks like a beautiful woman for who she is and, should embrace it, and as everyone else should leave her situation alone. However, Chris Rock is a comedian, and let's be fair, all comedians hit below the belt. And whether you like it or not, that's not cause for you to go up and slap someone, especially on a, I would say, multinational stage where everyone's watching, and besides just your reputation, your morals are now on display with how you portray yourself, how you act, how you represent your family, your friends, and your upbringing. And to some people, that's not how we should be determined. But my general experience with dealing with people is that although the individual may not want to be judged for their upbringing, the things that aren't necessarily them, people will do that and will determine or judge them for it. So even in moments like this, even if you want to do what you believe is right and what you feel is morally sound, if it's not someone actually being hurt or attacked or caused great harm, there's no reason to resort to violence, and there's no reason to storm a stage where hundreds, if not thousands of people are in, well, hundreds of people are in attendance, and then thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are just watching it, because it sets a very bad precedent for anything you do in the future. And just as a whole, it's not a good way to approach relationships or people talking shit or being disrespectful. There's nothing very civilized or mature or developed about that. Now, I understand if someone comes at you with violence or comes at you aggressively, you have to stand your ground, defend yourself, unless you have some level of duty to retreat and you are able to do so. But if you're not, I also understand where people can get very defensive. But again, that usually is determined that there is an aggressor causing them to be this way. Moving on to the article, the next section. In a new interview with People, Pikket Smith opened up about the incident, which she said, like many other people, she initially thought was a comedic bit between the two men. I thought, in quotes, this is a skit. I was like, there's no way that Will hit him. It wasn't until Will started to walk back to his chair that I even realized it wasn't a skit, she says. She told the publication that as soon as they were alone, she asked Smith, "Are you okay?" Pikket Smith told Kotub during their interview that the marriage fractured because of a lot of things, in quotes. I think at the time we got to 2016, we were both just exhausted with trying. Pikket Smith said, I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be. She said she made a promise that there would never be a reason for her and Smith to divorce, and I just haven't been able to break that promise, she said. Pikket Smith reveals more about her marriage, career, and early life in her forthcoming memoir, Worthy. The book releases on October 17th, I'm assuming this year, 2023. And yes, that is the end of this little CNN article. Quick little blurb, but it pretty much surmises the most recent updates towards their relationship and gives us a little bit more of a light into what was going on there. Now, I'm not one to judge people's relationships unless it's, like, explicitly toxic or abusive, and then by all means, everyone should judge it because someone in that equation isn't quite seeing that something needs to change here or someone needs to stop. And so, yeah, you vocalize that. But when people have relationships like Jada and Will here, especially when there are people who are just drowning in money and wealth and power and they're in the public eye at all times, I can understand how it'd be very difficult to share that information with people. However, on an internal level for their family, I really wonder how this has affected their children, how it's affected them personally, how they interact with other people outside of their home. Because I wouldn't imagine it'd be a very easy adaptation. I wouldn't imagine it'd be a very comfortable adaptation, especially because it's like, this has been going on at least since 2016. And the first accounts that I read, whether it be in this article or in another one, was in 2011, that things started looking shaky. So, I don't know. I feel bad for them. Because I'm sure, as she said, they were trying to think of this fantasy, trying to maintain this fantasy that they had of each other and the world that they made together. And it's sad, but it almost feels inevitable. And I don't know why, but this doesn't surprise me. And I don't have a reason as to why it doesn't surprise me. It's just when I read this, when I think about it and how I translate what all's going on, I'm not surprised. It's difficult to be two powerhouses under one household, developing over multiple generations. Well, not multiple generations, but like multiple entertainment style generations, while having thousands of people watch your every move, having media report your every action, who you're with this day or who you're not with that day, what you're wearing on this at the end of this week or at this event, what you ate at this restaurant. It just sounds maddening. I just feel bad for them by the end of the day because the kids, I'm sure, are having a rough time or are just ultimately ignoring this. One of the two. Either they're struggling because their parents have been going through this for a long time, and so they've been having to come up being raised through this, which has made life more complicated for them on top of the fame and power and wealth and eyes and all the invasive practices of Hollywood already on them because they were kids being raised in this. Or, and I'm pretty sure this is partially what's going on, at least for their daughter. They just are like, I'm out of this. I'm avoiding it entirely. You guys make up your own decision. You guys live your own life. I'm gonna move on with my career. But you know what? I don't know. I'm not in these people's heads. I'm not in your head. But let me know what you're thinking down in the comments, please. I think this is a very simple yet also complex on an interpersonal level situation. Like, it's simple from the third person perspective because you're just like, oh, okay, well, it's a disgruntled couple that refused to divorce. But internally, what do you think is going on there? You know, like, I'm not trying to spread rumors or make false information, but I like to speculate. And it's not like any of us are going to have any effect on their lives. We're all on YouTube, so let's embrace that. So join me down in the comments. Let's talk about this. Let's think about it. If you liked what you saw today, if you found this an interesting article or read, conversation even, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the goods, all the likes. I appreciate you for being here, and I hope to see you all again. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll be seeing you next time.